I can change the world with my own two hands, make a better place with my own two hands, the kind of place with my own two hands, with my own two hands, with my own two hands. I can make peace on earth with my own two hands. I can clean up the earth with my own two hands. I can reach out for you with my own two hands, with my own two hands, with my own two hands. Gonna make it a brighter place, gonna make it a safer place, gonna help the human race with my own two hands, with my own two hands. Now I can reach out to you with my own two hands, and I can comfort you with my own two hands, and I can love you with my own two hands, with my own two hands, with my own two hands. Gonna make it a brighter place, gonna make it a safer place, gonna help the human race with my own two hands, with my own two hands, with my own two hands, with my own two hands. I can change the world with my own two hands, conduct the world with my own two hands, make a kinder place with my own two hands, with my own two hands, with my own two hands. Gonna make it a brighter place, gonna help the human race, gonna make it a safer place with my own two hands.
Thank you so much, Norman. That was beautiful. I love the message behind that. So thank you for joining us here today for in service and with your beautiful musical gifts for us all to enjoy and share as you contribute to the consciousness. And we are lifted in your presence. Thank you. Thank you.
So it is my pleasure to first introduce you to our beautiful, beautiful Reverend this morning, a candidate for our senior minister, Reverend Katherine McClelleand, who will be doing the service for us today, as well as speaking the truth to us in her message. So since she is new, I just wanted to let everyone, I wanted to introduce her to those of you who may not have had the opportunity to either meet her in person or hear her. So please, Reverend Katherine, thank you so much for being here. We're delighted that you're taking the time to speak to us today.
Thank you so much, Kathy. Thank you for that introduction. Would just like to take a moment to welcome everyone to CCL, Morristown, New Jersey, and AKA the planet, where we all are coming from different places, joining together in this holy space this morning. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your time, your presence, your commitment to loving, and to the care with which you are offering your own life by allowing and inviting yourself to participate in such holy joy this morning. We're grateful you've chosen to spend your Sunday morning with us, and as we center into our wholeness and oneness with God. As Kathy said, I am Reverend Katherine McClelleand, and I'm very honored and blessed to be with you here today. Thank you for opening your hearts to me and sharing this sacred space together. If you would please join us as we join together in our opening prayer. I open my heart to the universe, accepting love and peace. I open my heart to the universe, accepting love and joy. I open my heart to the universe, accepting love and perfect health. Thank you. This morning, the practitioners holding consciousness for us, our second practitioner is Joanne. Our third practitioner is Lynn, and they are both holding high consciousness for us this morning. So if there's anything on your heart which feels heavy, or anything that you're coming with that you feel you could use some support, please lift those things into this consciousness that they are perfectly creating, and we will use this time and this space to create beauty, love, and perfection in all of our hearts and all of our minds. Our musical guest today is Norman Taylor. If you were lucky to be on to hear his first beautiful song and hold us in his two hands. If not, we will catch up with the other things he has to offer us this morning. Our first practitioner, Kathy Miller, will now lead us in the invocation.
Thank you, Reverend Catherine. Oh, let's again just breathe into this moment that is now, that is here for us right now. Feel the divine presence that is always with us. This one mind, this cherished, beautiful allness. All that there is this universal flow, divine Mother, Father, God. One mind, one spirit, the absolute magnificence and joy of this creation, this creator, this oneness. Feel it. Just feel this and feel how blessed we are to be together in this beautiful community, this Sangha of peace and love. The love we have for one another, the love we have for this creation, this divine, magnificent. Lord, I am so amazed by you. I feel the power. I feel the glory, the joy, the absolute joy, the laughter. Just feel deep inside of you. Feel the wholeness, the completeness that you are. Feel the connection of that one mind that is, that always will be, and that has always been. And this community, what a perfect expression of this joy, of this oneness, of this openness to all who are welcomed here. We are so blessed, and we are so blessed by the presence of each and every person here. I see our lovely, beautiful founding minister. We give you thanks for bringing us this seed, the seed which has grown into who we are today. Reverend Dr. Carol Lawson, thank you so much for having Spirit work through you to bring us together, and all the practitioners who surround us today. Thank you, Lynn, for holding the high watch. Thank you, Joanne. Thank you, our practitioner, Norman, who is bringing us this beautiful music. And for the lovely Sherry Davis, who is just keeping us in the flow of this technology. Thank you all so much. We are so grateful, and we feel the beauty and the essence of all of you, your souls. We are touched by them, and we are particularly grateful today for Reverend Katherine McClelleand, who comes to us to lead the service and to give us a message. We know that all is perfect, whole, and complete, and we are so grateful for each and every one of you who are here today to join us in this celebration of CCL, in this celebration of life and love. And so it is.
You say you want to get over. What are you gonna do? Let the world go by in a corner of a room. I know it's none of my business. There's something I need to say. If you could see you where I see you, you start flying on your own. Step aside and let your light shine. Let your love show. It's a short ride down that long road. When the rain comes and the wind blows, let your light shine wherever you go. This world is ready and waiting for you to break on through. It's time to recognize and realize you're the only one like you. So step on up into your greatness. Don't be afraid. There's a place that you will rise up to. No one else can do what you do. Get out the way and let your light shine. Let your love show. It's a short ride down that long road. When the rain comes and the wind blows, let your light shine wherever you go. Let your light shine, let your love show. It's a short ride down that long road. When the rain comes and the wind blows, let your light shine wherever you go.
Thank you. Thank you so, so very much, Norman, for that reminder. Let our light shine. Thank you for that beautiful gift of love. And first practitioner, Kathy Miller, will now lead us in the inspirational reading and the affirmation of today.
Oh, what a beautiful song, Norman. And I love the sentiment. Get out of the way and let your light shine. Isn't that what we're all doing here as we awaken into this, into who we really are? So today I chose from our 365 Science of Mind for our reading, Ernest Holmes. It is page 170. It's from June, and it sort of feels like June here in New Jersey. So though I hear in California, it's very cold. So let's just breathe into that and know that all is perfect, right? So 170. Today, I consciously let go of every discord. I drop all sense of lack or limitation from my thought and every belief that I have ever had in negation or fear. I now have a belief in success and faith. I permit the spirit within me to express itself in perfect freedom, bringing increasing joy into my experience. There is that within me that is completely conscious of its unity with good, of its oneness with all the power there is, and all the presence there is, and all the life there is. Upon this power, presence, and life, I depend with implicit certainty, with complete confidence, and with absolute assurance. I allow the divine wholeness to flow through me into ever-widening fields of activity. Every good I have ever experienced is now increased tenfold. Every joy I have ever experienced is now multiplied. There is a new influx of inspiration into my thought. I see more clearly than ever before that my divine birthright is freedom, peace, joy, and eternal goodness. I perceive that this same birthright is bequeathed to all people. All power is delivered unto me, and this power I use for my own and every other person's good. This divine presence interprets itself to me in love. Friendship, peace, joy, and goodness are mine now and forever. Woo! As Brooke Shields would say, that is for me. So, if you would please join me in repeating the affirmation that has been posted in your chat box. I am deeply aware of my life as one with creation. My life flows in perfect accord with the life of God. I am one with the divine source, and I'm guided with full passion in the direction of my dreams. I am at choice moment to moment as I feel the deepest sense of my calm and my activated sense of purpose and the power of that which I draw towards me with a pure heart, open mind, and expanded consciousness of love.
Let us take a moment for that to sink in fully to our consciousness. And I have been receiving lots of messages that my mic is a little soft, so we just changed something up. So if it's better, could I get some thumbs up from people that it's better? Great. Thank you, everyone, for all of your comments so I could get to that. And hopefully now my voice is in an acceptable range for everybody. Okay, great, great. Thank you so much for that. Sorry, the logistics of this can be challenging, but here we are. Thank you, Kathy, for your consciousness, for reading that beautiful reading and for sharing the affirmation today. And so we just take a moment as we enter the space of this speaking and sharing to each other, to allow all of what has come before this, the music, the songs, the words, to float us into same consciousness with each other, this high, loving consciousness that reminds us of the truth beyond all circumstance, and that we may rest peacefully in this place, knowing that this is the place of creation, of the outpicturing of our lives, of the holiest, holiest love that there is, and the Creator, which creates with us always. So as you know, I believe at this moment, you know that I am Reverend Katherine McClelleand, and I'm coming to you from freezing cold California this morning. So I thank you all again for being here. And as you might have read in your bulletin, my talk this week is about Two Roads Diverge. I've always loved that Robert Frost poem. I think it was Diverged, or The Road Not Taken. And I just came to me to contrast this two ways that possible paths to creation in our lives and making our lives work today. So one of the things we love to talk about is the purity of imagination and a future of free will fueled by divine inspiration, consciousness of spiritual power. Simple and direct. And then the other choice that we make sometimes, which is the cloud of hallucination, a future sourced from survival and chained to the past. So when I was thinking about these things today, one of the group of words that came together as a sentence for me was how to get everything you want, which I thought was kind of a fun way to start. So to begin this morning, I just wanted to take a moment away with and all of you and just take a look around the room and take you all in. Thank you for being here. It's such my great pleasure to be with you, to be part of doing this service today and holding the high watch with the practitioners. And I couldn't be more pleased. Thank you so much for being here to share in this time together. So I wanted to define imagination and hallucination. So hallucination is sort of what comes to us from the process of the conditioning of our lives. It comes to us from circumstance. If we pay too much attention to what's in front of us in the quote unquote, this world reality, we start to believe things and think things that are not true. We start to think that the conditions of today are created, as always, in a pattern that's held and that there's nothing we can do to change it. We start to believe that what we see is all there is and it's all we're ever going to get. And for most of us, that doesn't seem like a very hopeful or joyful way to live, because those things can change and put us in situations that if we don't have a way to lift ourselves out of or another way to become more than that, then we simply are just what we are today. And we all know, those of us who are gathered here, that there's much, much more to life than that. And so imagination is a real thing. We call it the imaginal realm when we're really working with it. We bring it into consciousness because it's actually based in truth. It's based in truth that is beyond the circumstances, because we know that all the circumstances that we see today are created out of whatever was in the consciousness of those creating it yesterday. There was this beautiful Indian man in my life, some form of guru who came in my life for a while. And he was part of the oneness movement, Diksha givers. And at some moment when we were praying together, I had asked him some question. And he just looked at me very blankly, stared me straight in the eye. And he said, there is no need for psychics. What you are doing today is your life tomorrow. And I really got it deeply from him. It was quite a beautiful communication and transmission, much deeper than the words themselves would suggest. So based in this truth, we know the truth to be that we're connected to a divine source, and we have an intelligence, a capacities, abilities way beyond what's here in our local selves, in our local mind, in our consciousness that we were given from the animal world. And now we have the chance to lift above that, to live in love, to invite ourselves into a whole new reality. And so to share with you about that this morning, sorry, I'm going to tell on myself. I'm going to tell a couple stories of my life. And if you wonder why I do that, it's because it gives me complete freedom to be completely authentic and revealed. Sorry, if I was telling someone else's story, I would have to be sort of telling things or hiding things or not wanting to make it sound like maybe I was having any interpretation of their life. So I tell you stories from my life, just so you know that. And I will be telling you the truth, I promise. So in our hallucination state, or the state where we're believing the circumstances of life, we find ourselves in a nervous system that gets triggered very frequently into tension and fear. And this is really the normal awareness of human beings, the belief for those living in a normal human reality, ordinary awareness, ordinary life, essentially surviving in the human condition. So through conditioning, through the thoughts of the people around us and the thoughts of the world around us and the circumstances that we can see, we can get grounded in a reality that is not truth. It is just simply what has come from what was believed by those creating, including ourselves today. That is not easy to know when you're young. It's not easy to know when you're growing up and people are not necessarily full of a different kind of consciousness. So for me, I grew up in the Middle East, and I think now you know that. I was one of twin daughters and 3 other sibling boys, older, family of an American diplomat. And we lived in most of the countries in the Middle East. And while this country changed and the people changed, the circumstances didn't change very much. It wasn't a very safe environment. We were, in fact, Americans trying to make our impact on their world. And in some cases, that was not well appreciated. So we often had guards around our homes. We had people carrying machine guns around us. We had high walls we lived behind. We had bodyguards. We had drivers. We were sequestered. We were kept away, except now and then when we were allowed to do things like go to school. But even then, we had a little bit of a distant life from everybody else, and certainly the normal day-to-day life of people in the countries we lived in. So although we were kept far away from those things, in many cases we were deeply affected by them. Fairly frequently there would be coups, revolutions, tanks, bombs, and the like, literally in our lives. Our houses would shake, tanks would roll down our streets. And what's very strange about tanks when they roll down your street is they leave marks because they're so heavy. So I lived in this world of where my safety was being ensured by guns and tanks and bombs and things like that. And yet never, ever, ever did I feel safe. Never felt safe by those things. So one time, mostly we were not the ones being attacked, so we were okay. And except at one time in 1967, the tide turned and we were in Baghdad, and the people decided the Americans were not on their side anymore, and the embassy was attacked. So women and children were sent out of the country in the middle of the night on buses with no protection at all. They just put us on buses and they said, get out of here so we know you're safe. So safety was 18 hours away through the mountains of Iraq and Iran. Iran was an American friend at that time when the Shah was in power. And so we knew if we could get there, we could be safe. And the men and the Marines stayed behind and had to take care of burning all the documents, making sure no secrets of the US government were traded as the embassy was taken over. As you can imagine, this is a pretty startling event. I was 6 years old. We were able to take 3 changes of clothes with us, and off we went. It was quite an experience and quite a moment of seeing the circumstances of life and feeling at the effect of what was happening around us. How could life not be scary with all these messages? With all these messages that I was living and I was learning, how would life not be scary? Well, as it turned out, life was very scary for me and for many of us. And I'm not at all insinuating that you need to be transported on buses in the middle of the night, 18 hours to another country to have that sensation that your life is not safe. Many, many of us growing up, even if we have perfectly safe homes, will encounter bullies at school or people who will hurt us in one way or another. And it's easy, very, very easy to get lost in this idea that we are not safe, that we are here to fight or run. We get stuck in a hyper-sympathetic nervous system. And even my son, who grew up in this tiny little town, I found out his beautiful alternative school was playing a game called Predator Prey one day at school. I thought, that is not what I have in mind for my child to know as the way of life. So in that way, we become people who are living in a human experience, one that is directed by an amygdala and one that is based in our survival. We become very single focused into making sure that we survive. We lose all sense of truth. We lose all sense of our combined oneness. We lose all sense of what is possible when we look beyond that. In prayer, we tend to fall backwards into supplication, pleading for the end of our conditions and praying for someone or something to come along and change things because we are powerless. We need something we don't have. And we're working in a system that's based in the past. Someone more powerful from us is going to have to fix this because we can't. We become the product of our upbringing, of cultural beliefs, of cultural conditioning, and of our thoughts that begin to harmonize with those. Driven by scarcity and fear and limiting thoughts, we work hard and get up tomorrow and do it again. So I thought maybe for a moment, we would take a moment and think about the underlying beliefs and the subjective experience that we have when we are having those kinds of experiences, when we're believing the hallucination that life is only tomorrow what it was yesterday and could possibly be today. When we believe that, what do we believe? And so I ask you, as I read through these beliefs that I will share with you right now, to take a moment and think to yourself, do I think like this? Now I'm telling on myself because I'm telling you, I do think like this. And while we all want to think in the most powerful ways, we want to believe that everything is always operating for our highest good. We want to remember that love permeates all. We want to remember to keep the high watch. We want to remember that we are powerful beyond measure. We sometimes, or should I say frequently, often forget. And I think it's documented that 1,000 times a day, our mind will take us into a place where we feel some kind of threat and we respond with scarcity, fear, doubt, worry, instead of the knowing of who we are and the wholeness and the beauty that we are. So, as I say these statements, if it occurs for you to want to do this, please feel free to raise your hand if you've ever had a thought like this that you may have created with in your life. This is the creation that comes from the hallucination that we are bound by the conditions of this moment today until we choose differently. So now, as I say these, feel free to either, put a hand up in the chat or hand up on your screen or whatever, or not at all, and just let it flow through you. But I know I can claim for myself that all of these have been true for me at one time or another, possibly an hour ago, or maybe next week. My safety is outside of me. I have to get it from somewhere or something else. There are threats all around me. I must protect myself. God is outside of me, and if I am good enough, may show up and be gracious enough to protect me or keep me safe, but I'd better not piss him off. I feel stuck and can only think in either or, black and white thinking, good, bad, right, wrong. My creativity has run dry. I cannot change this thing. My relationships are stressed. No one loves me. I have to be perfect to be loved. I feel empty and alone. I feel powerless with all that is going on around me. I have to get what I need from others, and I don't know how. I have to take what I deserve. I have pain of the past that I can't let go of yet, or maybe never. I may never be able to forgive. I have to control everything, or I won't be able to get my needs met. I can see what's going to happen because I can see it today. Nothing else is possible. What I see is a reality where I have no idea how we are going to get out of this mess, and I do not think I am part of the solution. I have to plan and strategize to get anywhere in life. It's a long, hard slog. I'm stuck in the life that I have now. There is no way for me to change the things I want to change. It will be like this always. If you have ever felt any of those things, you are one of us. You are human. You are part of everything that is happening on this planet today. We are all in this mindset, on and off in our lives. And I thank you all for participating in seeing and owning the truth of some of these mindsets that can get stuck inside us and take hold. And then we struggle to come back. And so that's why we have things like church. That's why we have people in our lives like practitioners. That's why we have prayer, is to remember. Our first job is to reach out and ask someone to help. For me, it was late into my 20s, the first time somebody offered me this kind of a vision of, not this kind of vision, I'm sorry, the newer vision of what's possible in the reality of love. And it changed my life in an instant. And then I went back. I thought I would never go back. I thought I was changed forever. Life had changed. I'd had my spiritual experience. Everything was perfect. Except, of course, I went back over and over. When I get afraid, when something happens, when I can see in my current reality that some circumstance is truly happening, then I get afraid. Then I need my help. Then I needed other people. Like a child, I first needed to be carried. I needed to go and ask people to help me and to help me remember. And believe me, I still do. There are plenty of times when, like a child, I need to ask people to come help me. They have to carry me sometimes. When loss strikes me, when illness strikes, when something happens that I do not expect and do not feel is good for my life, I have to go find someone to come to me and help me. But then I decided I actually really wanted to be able to do the work myself. I really, really, really wanted to have the power in my own hands. So I eventually made my way out of my current circumstances that were keeping me in a conditioning context that made it so hard for me to remember every day that things could be different for me, that life could be different. And so I eventually found my way out of that and found my way to California, found my way to a spiritual psychology program that just lifted me and held me for years, in a program that I could find my way into the words of truth daily. And my life began to be miraculous. I started studying the Course in Miracles also, and I joined Agape LA. I've never seen anything like it in my life. I had never seen 5,000 to 10,000 people gathered and pushing and shoving each other to get into meditation because we were all waiting to be holy. With a big heart, though, we found our way. This was the joy of my life. And I was able to find this place where I could land on the truth beyond circumstance. I could change the circumstances of my life. I could find myself out of this grip of fear that was so hard and so painful. And suddenly, in the joy of life, within an instant, and I didn't always need to have somebody else find it for me. Now, believe me, I still, on many days, need someone to help me find it again. And so maybe do you. Those of us, when we get caught in our worries about our lives, our finances, all of these things, our illness, our state of health, our state of our country, our state of the world, we can look at the circumstances of Friday night, of all the states that were hit by those massive tornadoes. Our hearts go out so deeply to those in Kentucky where most of the lives seem to have been lost, but the devastation is across 6 states. We will feel the effects of this in our bodies, but will we let it take our power? Will we show up for these people in prayer, in love, holding the high watch, knowing they have the power? We will rebuild. We will come through this, and that everything is always operating for the highest good. Can we shift the mindset that is stuck in our amygdala, in our adrenalized system, that keeps us from feeling powerful and strong? We shift. We come into connection and communion. We use treatment in this religious science way. We use affirmative prayer. First things first. Remember truth. Let it flood your consciousness. When you become someone who is committed to this higher watch, this higher sense of what's possible, you can release everything that has gone before. Your normal awareness, instead of being constricted, contracted, and fear-based, now is expanded. When you use the spiritual lens in your life to look at your life through, to look at all life through, to look at the continuation and the loss of life through, when you use the spiritual lens, your normal everyday awareness lifts into a higher place of truth. We're not saying that circumstances don't happen. They certainly do. We're not saying that circumstances aren't here based in reality. We are saying that you have a truth beyond that, that lives in you, that gives you the peace and the ability to transform your experience, whether or not conditions change. We all pray. We all want the change of conditions to the way in which we would like them to be. But that is not always the way of spirit. So we do our best to impress upon the world the greater space of all life, that which we want. And we allow the truth that changes us from within to be real. And so with Science of Mind, with New Thought, with all these beautiful accompanying songs and choruses of angels, what arises behind the steps of spiritual mind treatment, of recognition, of unification with this beautiful power, realization of truth, with thanksgiving, with the deepest gratitude, and release in the knowing that all is here and now available to our prayer. We have an extraordinary awareness. In each moment, we see this for an extraordinary life. We change the nervous system. We rest and restore. We calm. We access a higher intelligence, higher capacities, higher love, higher purpose. And our prayer is affirmative. And so now I invite you to look into the underlying beliefs, the truth based in a felt sense of spiritual truth, immovable, unchanging, one truth. These beliefs arise naturally with my presence, with spirit, God, and divine intelligence. These beliefs, and now I invite you to take a moment to allow these things to flow through you and raise your hand if these thoughts live in you. As we begin, I release any tribal, religious, or family beliefs that no longer serve me. I choose my beliefs and know that I connect and I am free and safe and held in the arms of a loving universe. I am safe. Thank you. I am highly creative. As I sense my connection to divine presence, to myself, others, and the natural world, I am balanced in my aloneness as well in my joining. I am connected, creative, and alive. I am powerful and full of love. I connect to that which is one with me. I know myself to be strong, powerful, capable, loving, compassionate, and blessed. I share myself in the world and I am supported by my being of my highest self. I am patient and kind with the parts of me and others when our stuff gets triggered. I am power. I am love. I have done my healing work and I can release and let go of my past. I am allowing all that no longer serves me to dissolve and see that everything that has ever entered my world has been a gift to me. My spiritual journey is enhanced by my experiences, and I can let go of old anger and hurts and expand in love again. I am grateful. I am surrendered to the will of God, which is one with me. I am not separate from God, and I am so in alignment with that truth. I listen and hear that which guides me, and I am open and receptive to that which draws me forward. I am guided. I see current circumstances and know that their origin is in the past. I know that everything here today was created yesterday or in the moment before now. And so I look beyond circumstance to a holy light, the vision of what guides me, my intuition, and my way ahead. In this moment, I see with the eyes of tomorrow, letting go of anything that did not serve me today. I now create from this purity a vision, that which will be my future. I am intuition and vision. I am held in the pure possibility of the universe beyond limitation of any kind. I reach into the field and magnetize with full awareness that which I imagine in my life. Right conditions, health, abundance, wholeness, peace, joy, compassion, love. I am filled with light and love, seeing clearly that which is coming to me from my wholeness and love in the field of divine intelligence is already here. I am possibility. This morning, I invite you to consider that this is the promise of Christmas. We are led to our wholeness by the star in the sky. Lift up our eyes beyond circumstance and see the vision through the veil, through the clouds. The sun is always shining. Our vision is always clear. And so I ask you, if you have not yet or not currently, maybe you would like to close your eyes. You don't need to. And just listen to these words. There is a power greater than I am. I do realize that I can use it. There is nothing in me that can deny or doubt or limit this power. My whole being accepts it, both consciously and unconsciously. From Ernest Holmes, from The Science of Mind. We must believe that God is love, infinite, eternal, and ever present. We cannot escape love. We exist in love. We are one with it. We live by, through, and in it. It motivates our entire thought process, plan, and action. Everything we see with the eyes of love. Everything we hear with the ears of love. We see God everywhere. Wherever we look, we see it. Wherever we go, we find it. It is within this consciousness that we make room for miracles in our lives. I bless each and every one of you today as we are joined in this space, in this loving, in this season of light, as we bring this consciousness into our lives and see everything for the beauty and love that it is. As we look beyond circumstance, we turn to ourselves, we turn inward into the divine connection that holds us. We turn towards each other for inspiration and care and love and the reminders that we need to live in this holy space. We turn to the natural world and we allow ourselves to breathe in all that is there, all of the givingness. And we open ourselves in one of the most generous activities of life, our willingness to receive. And so from this place, we simply allow truth to guide us, wholeness to live within us, and the power and the beauty and the light of God, infinite intelligence, spirit, the field of love, hold us all today. As we step into and through this season of light, let us remember this. Let us be called into our highest. Let us touch this and create moment to moment the most beautiful lives for us, for everyone else on this planet, as we harmonize beauty, love, joy, compassion, kindness, care, passion, power, confidence, grace, peace, love. And so it is. Just take a moment to allow this to be here in the truth of this day. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for your love. And so it is. And I invite you all to gently bring yourselves back if you have your eyes closed, if you find yourself in a little bit of an alternate reality. As you come back, remember you're bringing it with you. Don't leave it behind. So look in the faces of everyone that we are with and notice the light that is reflected back to you, through each other, through the wholeness that we all are. Bless you, bless you, bless you for your service, of your willingness to lift your consciousness and be of service to this world. As each and every moment we do that, we are the light of the world. And gently, I invite Sherry now to lead us in the blessing of our offering.
Thank you, Reverend Katherine, for that powerfully beautiful message, the promise of Christmas. So join me now, if you will, in our blessing of the offering.
Sherry, for some reason, I can't hear you. I'm not sure if others can hear you.
You all can hear me. Okay. Okay, well, I'm seeing some thumbs up.
I
Hi,
can hear
Reverend
you.
Catherine.
Okay.
Try unplugging your mic from your computer.
Sorry, Sherry, I think that was my microphone.
Okay. While you're working on that, Reverend Catherine, I'll go forward with the blessing of our offering, if you all will join with me. Thank you, God, for this abundance that is mine to share. I bless this gift and give it to thee in gratitude and joy, knowing that as I give, I do receive.
If I tell you, would you promise not to tell? I got a secret and I kept it well. Do not believe it, but I swear it's not a lie. I close my eyes and then I start to fly. Fly away, fly away. Close my eyes and I can fly away. Fly away, fly away. Close my eyes and I can fly away. There's a magic that I fly to when I'm down. The thoughts of pure love that's all around. I'll take you with me if you really want to try. Just close your eyes and think that you can fly. Fly away, fly away. Close my eyes and I can fly away. Believe me, fly away, fly away. Close my eyes and I can fly away. If I tell you, would you promise not to tell? I got a secret that I kept it well. Would not believe it, but I swear it's not a lie. I close my eyes and then I start to fly. Fly away, fly away. Close my eyes and I can fly away. Fly away, fly away. Close my eyes and I can fly away.
Thank you, Sherry, for your sharing of the blessing of the offering. And we invite all of you to turn to the chat and find the ways that you can give your gifts in abundance, in the holy knowing of the truth that that is your birthright and always is here for you, that we invite you into this space with love. Thank you, Norman, for that beautiful, beautiful flying away song. And we invite us to fly away and to land back here on our feet. So we are here for the world in love. And now at this point in our service, we'd like to offer blessings for our visitors, if we have any today, new friends, and also to ourselves, to each other. Why not? We're here too. And so we say together, welcome to the Center for Conscious Living. We are a heart-centered spiritual community. We open ourselves to you in love. We recognize the perfection of God within you. We celebrate the joyous being that you are. You are a radiant point of light. We are blessed by your presence. Welcome home. And today we will say the Mastermind Covenant, knowing there is a power, intelligence, and wisdom greater than my own, and knowing it is responsive to my every thought, word, action, and feeling. Please say aloud, I acknowledge. Surrendering to the power of the mastermind consciousness and knowing I am guided and assisted past any limited perception to God's truth within. Now I say, I surrender. Knowing forgiveness is the key to change, I now forgive myself and others for all mistaken judgments. I open the door to unconditional love by saying, I forgive. Realizing that my life is the creation of my own thoughts, I now choose to fill my mind with thoughts that are positive, loving, and beautiful. And I allow my life to reflect that choice by saying, I choose. Holding the consciousness for the center of conscious living, we now thank God for the continued prosperity of the spiritual community and for everyone. For myself, I now go within to the silence of my own mind as I ask for my own specific requests, knowing the universe always says yes. And today we ask for the well-being, especially of those who are in any kind of hardness, harshness, suffering, injury, illness of any kind. We ask that the love administers to them and they remember the truth of who they are. And please repeat after your requests, the universe that you have asked, I accept. With thankful heart and knowing all that I have asked in the name of the mastermind is now given to me, I say, thank you, God. And we say together, the love of God enfolds me. The mind of God inspires me. The Spirit of God enlightens me. The power of God encircles me. I am in God and all is well, for I am enthusiastic, excited, expectant, and at peace. Turn to your neighbor and say, unmute, I think for this one, I am grateful God has heard you.
I'm grateful God has heard you.
Grateful God has
God has
heard
heard
you.
you.
Beautiful.
I get to my thing too late, but I'm grateful God has heard you.
So I'll just take a moment to, maybe everyone wants to mute up again for a second. We'll go through quickly the announcements. Men's group, December 20th, online. For more information, Reverend Paul or Mike Savarese for more information. Christmas Eve service, beautiful, 7 p.m. on Zoom. That will be with Reverend Paul. And Christmas regular service will be on the 26th, of course, not the 25th, but that will be Sunday is the regular service, 10 a.m. on Zoom. I want to take a moment as representing CCL today to thank June and Marty for all of their hard work, their gifts, their loving, their meetings, their coercive conversations, their blessings, their conversations and care for this community as they turned not only this gift that was for us this gift that was for each one of us individually, the gift that is for nature, for this world, for our lives. This is precisely the kinds of things that we are led to do when our hearts and minds are open and we can see the value of shifting our perspective, of showing up differently. And all of a sudden there are gifts everywhere. So thank you so much, June and Marty. And I wondered if either of you would like to speak for a moment to the congregation.
Sure, I would love to. Thank you so much. This is just great. You know, abundance comes in many forms. I think you all know about this Neighborhood Sun partnership with CCL. It's a win-win-win where you get a little discount on your electric bill. You get a $100 gift card. You are contributing to the health of the planet by going 100% solar with your electric. And CCL gets a donation that you don't have to write a check for of $200 for every person that signs up. I'm giving you my little coercive speech right now. Coercive. I just think this is a wonderful opportunity. And we met our target. We met our goal. CCL will, at this moment, be receiving a donation of $4,300 at this very moment. And Neighborhood Sun loves us as a community. They just love us. They have many partners all over the country. They love us, and they've asked us to be partner of the month. They're going to put us in their newsletter. Yay. And they're extending this special partnership until the end of December. So if you haven't jumped on board yet, if you're interested, call Marty, call me. Our phone numbers are in here. There's also a link. We'll guide you through it. It's easy, it's fun, and it doesn't cost anything, and you don't need a roof even for a solar panel. It's all handled without any wire. It's like amazing. Anyway, I'm so glad to be able to offer this, and I think Marty is on the phone too. So thank you so much, Reverend Catherine.
Thank you so much, June and Marty, for that. Wow, what an amazing success. What a beautiful thing. I love it. The abundance is flowing already. Thank you to everyone whose consciousness were altered in this direction. I am certainly inspired by this, and would if I could, but I can't right now. So thank you. Thank you. And by coercion, I meant loving coercion, by the way. I did not mean anything else. That sometimes we need to be slightly coerced out of our steady mindsets in order to actually get the benefit of something new. So bless you. Next week, Dave Schbach will be doing the sermon next Sunday. And I'm going to invite, I'm sorry we're running over time, but I want to invite Norman to please grace us once again with his beautiful voice, his talent to sing our concluding song.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. I ain't gonna make it shine, just gonna let it shine. Ain't gonna make it shine, just gonna let it shine. Ain't gonna make it shine, just gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Norman, for all of the love and joy you have brought us this morning with your beautiful voice and your powerful consciousness. And now I will invite our first practitioner, who has been doing such a magnificent job holding this high watch for us today, to please take us forward in the concluding affirmation.
Okay, you know the drill. If we all unmute, because I think we should all repeat after me this beautiful concluding affirmation. Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
Something
Wonderful is happening to me right now.
It is this thing called life.
It is
This thing called life.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my feelings.
life is in my
Life is in all my activities.
life is in
Life is
all
in
my
all
activities.
my
activities.
I receive it.
I receive
I
it.
receive it.
I share it.
I share it.
I am it.
I am it.
And I accept it
And I accept it.
just the way that it is.
Just
That's
the
the way that it is.
is.
Thank you, life.
Thank you,
Thank you,
love.
life.
And accepting all of these gifts, we say,
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. And just as a final word, I would like to say thank you to everyone who's contributed to this service today in any way, in your silence, in your holding space, in your loving, in your words, in your song, in your voice, in your care for each other and for us all. And we are here to love and support you, to embrace each person in this beautiful consciousness of love. From gratitude from the bottom of my heart today. Namaste. And so it is. And we are complete. And bless you all. And now we may visit.
yay.
Catherine.
Take care,
so
guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Norman.
Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you,
service.
everyone.
Thank you so much.
Beautiful.
Thank you,
Really
Sharon.
good service.
Thank you, Kathy.
Cassandra.
Thank you so much.
Ken,
Great service.
Nancy.
Thank you and
Oh,
welcome.
Navneet. Woo. Hi, Linda.
That really is powerful.
Hi, Lynn.
Thank you.
Hi,
Just
Reverend
wonderful.
Al.
Here's my coffee to you all.
Hi, June.
Thank you,
Hi,
Reverend
Ann.
Hi,
Catherine.
Jeff.
A beautiful.
Powerful and
Hi,
timely.
Jeff. Good to see your face. Hi, Peggy.
How's Reverend Ken
Hi,
doing?
Jen.
Hi, Reverend Carol.
Hi,
Thank
Wayne.
you, Reverend
Joining
Catherine.
Hi,
us.
Cassandra.
Hey, Regina.
Hi.
Hey,
I love your little Christmas tree
Hi,
back there.
Marlene. Thank you.
beautiful.
Thank you.
Reverend Catherine, thank you for
Thank
a
you, Judy.
beautiful service,
Thank
taking
you,
us
Judy.
from fear to joy and the power of who we are and the truth of who we are. Thank you all for such a beautiful, uplifting service.
Ditto.
Thank you. Thank you. It was a joy being with you. Absolutely.
We
Oh,
are great.
Hi, everybody. Have a great
Hi,
day.
Mariam.
Hey, Sarah.
joy.
Hi, Sarah.
Good to see you
I'll
all.
call you later.
Yeah, I couldn't get my name
Hey,
up.
Deb.
I have to figure out how to get my name up there next week.
Oh.
That's
Thank
okay.
you.
I know you're not Tim.
Oh, hi, Jen.